Hello, my dear students. So, a very good evening to all of you. So, in this particular session, that is the third session of chapter number 5, decision making, we will about to complete this particular chapter. Already covered some questions on relevant costing, and especially that particular question, the lengthy question, I would say, related with Aditya Group Limited. A very good question in which there are 2 points regarding the make or outsourcing and that machine renting or purchase. That's a special point of that particular question. Okay, beta. So let's start with one more question on relevant costing, and then we will move towards the technique of marginal costing. In marginal costing, we are waiting for those two special questions that are given in your study material. Okay, so let's start with question number 10, a very simple question of marginal costing. We are doing such question because of non-financial factor, not the calculation part. The non-calculation part is very special about this question number 10. Okay, so let's start the same. Please open with page number 42. Please open page number 42. Page number 42. Rashi, good evening, beta. Fatima, good evening. Are you ready, beta? Can we start the question given on page number 42? Okay, 1 minute. Okay, beta, I will wait for 1 minute. Okay, beta, chaliye, let's start. N2 company is the manufacturer and the supplier of firefighting and safety equipment for industrial use. So the name of the company is N2 company. They are the manufacturer of firefighting and safety equipment that are used in industrial sector and follows the international quality standard and uses the high grade raw material. It is a fast growing brand that protects millions of people across the India every single day. Okay. N2 has offered a bid on a prospective export contract for 20,000 commercial fire extinguisher with the following specification from USA buyer, and the delivery terms is FOB, free on board. So we have got a export order for 20,000 commercial fire extinguisher, and the buyer is from USA, and they require the delivery on free on board service. Okay. What if the specification of that fire extinguisher? It's 2-gallon cylinder holding 10 pounds of multi-purpose dry chemical at 380 psi. Not relevant for us because it's a technical terminology. The only important point we have to carry with the remaining question, if you are received an export order for 20,000 commercial fire extinguisher. Okay. N2 is exporting the very first time. Right now, all the customers are located in the same country. The first time we are exporting our product, the price computation per fire extinguisher is as follows. Okay. So direct material is given to you. There are lots of direct material. The total of all such direct material is 1,500 rupee. Direct labor is given 2 hours multiplied by 40 rupee. Testing cost, variable overhead including the packaging, export clearance charges since the delivery term is based on FOB, free on board, fixed overhead is given, total 1980 is given. We have added back 10% markup. So the price is in Indian rupee, it's 2178. When converted into US dollar, it is 32.51. After quotation of 32.51, the buyer is negotiating the price and ready to pay only USD 28.5. Now you have to advise whether it is worth accepting the order at US dollar 28.5. So whenever we are taking any decision that has not been considered while taking the making the budget, then relevant costing is used. Since we are exporting, we have received an export order and will about to export for the very first time. Therefore, any decision has not been considered while making the budget. Therefore, this decision should be considered from relevancy viewpoint. That is, all the cost you have computed 1980 has to be checked from two angles. The first one is whether the cost is a future cost and whether such future cost will change according to my decision in hand, and the decision is whether to export the product or not. क्लियर है बेटा? तो चलिए आप बताइए मुझे बेटा, ये एक कैटेगरी दिया हुआ है मटेरियल की, मेजर कैटेगरी, ओके, and the second category is labor, leakage testing, variable order, export, fixed order. What are the point which you think, because no additional information is given, you have to take the general assumption while deriving the relevant cost. What according to you can be the relevant cost, or in simple word, it's better beta, what are the irrelevant costs till 1980 rupees? Because irrelevant costs are not to be considered while taking a decision. Okay, so I'm giving you beta only 3 minutes of time because it is comparatively simple. Since no additional information is given, therefore there is no role of interpretation. General assumption you have to take and then decide what are the costs included in 1980 which are not relevant, and they are not relevant because of the two reasons. Either they are not future cost, or second, although there are future costs but they will not change according to my export order. So I'm waiting for your answer beta. I'm giving 3 minutes of time to think on your own. This is cost number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are total fixed costs, including the major category of material. Out of the fixed cost, tell me which are the irrelevant one and take general assumptions. Okay, chali beta. 3 minutes of time is available with you. I'm waiting for your answer beta. Once you have completed the interpretation, tell me what are the costs out of those fixed costs which will be irrelevant one. Okay beta. One South student has given the correct answer. Very good beta. Congratulations. What about other student beta? Please communicate your view. What are the irrelevant costs according to you out of that fixed cost? Okay, Fatima, very good. Karthik, very good beta. And Pradeep, very good beta. All of the student have given me the correct answer. So basically, we are taking the normal assumption. Why we are talking about the normal assumption? Because nowhere in the question we have been given the additional information regarding the material, labor, testing, or any other cost. So we have to take a natural assumption regarding the material, labor, testing, and variable overhead. We can easily say that unless and otherwise this export order is executed, we will not manufacture such goods. And if we do not manufacture such goods, definitely all such costs will not be incurred from 1 to 4. And especially cost number 5 is specifically related with export. Only and only when we accept the special order of export, then only cost of export clearing cost of ₹36 will be incurred. But regarding the fixed overhead, we have already taken the route that unless and otherwise fixed overhead is given in totality, we will not consider fixed overhead as relevant one. In fact, we will consider fixed overhead as irrelevant one, and we are computing here the minimum cost. So profit element is not at all relevant right now. So 1880 is the relevant cost. When you divide 1880 by 67 rupee, can you tell me how many US dollar it is? $1880 divided by 67. So it's 28.05. So the answer is 28.05. Okay, while the buyer is ready to pay 28.5, if we go traditional way, then definitely it's 32.51. But if we go through relevant costing way, then the relevant cost of executing if dollar is approximately $28, while the customer is ready to pay 28.5. So the difference of $0.45 on 20,000 commercial fire extinguisher will definitely be our profit. And since this is a prospective client, if we properly supply the quantity along with the quality, then definitely that customer can become our permanent customer in the future, and it will open new avenues, because right now we are selling only in the domestic market. We are not yet touched the international market. Okay, so a very simple question, nothing special about this question, beta. But the point here is very, very important, advice. Okay, they are not asked just about the computation part. They have requested us to consider other factors also. Then combinedly, you can decide whether to accept this special order or not. Okay, so this question we have done in the class, not for the calculation part. They are very simple, but for the very special reason of the non-financial factor. I am telling you the page number, beta. Please open that page and read out the content, the superb content given by the institute regarding the non-financial factor that should be considered while taking the decision. Okay, देखिए यहाँ पे और कौन कौन से फैक्टर आपको कंसिडर करने हैं. स्टैट्यूटरी कंप्लायंस, because you are exporting for the very first time, whether this export can fulfill the statutory requirement, all the document, money repatriation, whether the goods is legal good under the export country. We have to check this one. Buyer credit worthiness, because right now no cash transaction is there. The goods are sold on credit. So what will be the buyer credit worthiness? Industry analysis and additional terms we have to check. And overall, after consideration of the financial factor and this 4 non-financial factor, we have to then finally decide whether to accept or reject this offer. So I request each and every student, beta, to read out this 4 point very, very carefully, because although this question may or may not appear in the examination, but the learning you will get that what are the other points that should be considered along with the financial consideration will definitely prove to be very handy to deal with such similar type of question in the examination. Okay, beta. So complete 7 minutes I am providing to you, because if you are making newspaper reading, then it can be over in 3 to 4 minutes. But you have to understand each and every terminology and try to interpret the answer with the content of the question that they want, whether this order should be accepted or not. Financially, it should be accepted, but what are the other factors which we should consider before making a final decision. Okay, beta, chali. So I'm giving complete 7 minutes of time. read out each and every point given in this 4 point: statutory compliance, buyer credit worthiness, industry analysis, and additional term you have to consider, and then give your final advice overall whether the N2 company should accept this export order or not. So I'm giving you complete beta 7 minutes of time to have a reading of this all the 4 special points, because the word advice has been used, and at the end they have also used the word to considering other factors also apart from financial, what other non-financial factor you should consider while accepting or rejecting this proposal. Okay, chali 7 minutes I am giving to you. Last 2 minutes available with you, beta. Read out that 4 points completely with interpretation. Okay, beta, can we start another question? Okay, for the very special part of this question number 10 is the advice content. Okay, so whenever you are planning for revision, especially the last day before revision, beta, you should tick mark the content right now, that in this question what I have to study in first revision, in the last day before revision, so that whenever you are taking the revision, you don't have to tackle that situation where everything is to be read out. Only and only which you have marked for first revision, second revision, and last day before revision should be marked right now. Whenever you are studying the subject for the very first time. So if I am a student, then I will definitely mark this question for other financial factor, non-financial factor, the 4 statutory compliance, credit worthiness of buyer, industry analysis, and the additional term, because the calculation part is nothing special for which I can refer this question again, even in the first revision. Okay, chill. Now let's start a very important question, and a very different question based on marginal costing. Okay. आई बेटा अब उस क्वेश्चन में बेस्ड ऑन मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग, दैट्स अ वेरी स्पेशल क्वेश्चन. Please open with page number 35. Page number 35. It's illustration number 4. It's the question of marginal costing, but very beautifully drafted, undoubtedly. If you read out this question once and try to start the solution part, I think it's not possible in this question. You must have minimum two reading of this question, and then only you can plan out the structure. What will be the working note? What will be the content that we have to calculate to give our recommendation? Okay, beta. So let's start this question number 4. I recommend that this question should be in your every revision. Even last day before examination, you should have a minimum 2 or 3 minutes in LDR, last day before revision, for this question, question number 4. A very special question in the study material. देखिए, टफ नहीं है, बस थोड़ा सा इंटरप्रिटेशन पार्ट इज बेटर इन दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन. चालू करते हैं बेटा. तो द फर्स्ट रीडिंग विल बी द न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग एंड द सेकंड रीडिंग विल बी द इंटरप्रिटेशन रीडिंग. ओके, चलिए. तो न्यूज़पेपर रीडिंग कंबाइंडली वी विल स्टार्ट. होटल निको in the country Zealand, an affordable leisure hotel resort is an ideal retreat to escape, unwind, and enjoy peace of mind. So important point is the name of the hotel and the location. The hotel name is Nico. It is located in Zealand, a country or city. The detail will be given further. Set amid expansive tropical greenery in the enclave of Zealand, Hotel Nico is designed for pleasure, where services reunite supreme and Italian-style architecture of 25 classic rooms harmonized with nature. This is another important point. The capacity we are having is 25 classic room. We are having only one category of room designated as classic room, and they are 25 in numbers. Hotel Nico, Zealand, is a beachfront resort that features a good choice of swimmer, pool bar, gym, and variety of restaurant. A wide array of water sports activities like surfing, sailing, jet skiing, etc. are available from beach operator at walking distance. These facilities are very common nowadays, so nothing special about that. The hotel is synonym with enjoyment and value for money, with a large choice of very attractive all-inclusive packages. Okay. So basically, two main details are relevant for us in this particular para: the name of the hotel, the area, and the capacity of the hotel is 25 classic rooms. The hotel charges guests, this is the current fee of Zealand. Okay, the hotel charges guests current fee 2,700 per room per night. Generally there is composite unit in case of service industry. Hotel being a service industry, therefore two cost unit has been used, room along with the night. So the charges is 2,700 per room per night, irrespective of single or double occupancy. Okay, whether the room is occupied by a single customer, that will also charge him 2,700. Whether the occupancy is double, the charge will remain same. The variable cost is 900 per occupied room per night. Can you tell me the most important word in this particular line, beta? The most important word. I'm waiting for your answer. Tell me the most important word in the line which I have underlined. Waiting, beta. Please communicate fast. What's the most important word in that particular line? Single word. Okay, very good, beta. The word important is occupied. It means even in case of the room is unoccupied, we will not incur any kind of variable cost. Only and only when the room is occupied, then only we will incur the variable cost. Very good, beta. Kani Moji, Fatima, and one South Vidya student. Sorry, beta, I didn't pronounce your name. चलिए तो बड़े आगे देखिए अब आगे. The Nico, the hotel is available throughout 365 days a year and have a 75% budget occupancy rate. Definitely, this 75% is the average occupancy rate. In the peak season, they are having 100% occupancy rate. In the mid season, something between 75 to 80, 90. And in the off season, they can have occupancy below 75%. So the average occupancy rate is 75% of the total. Fixed costs are budgeted at 9 million, okay, and are incurred evenly during the year. During the second quarter, that is quarter 2 of the year, usually the room occupancy rate remains substantially below the level expected at other quarter of the year. So when we divide the complete year into quarter, especially quarter number 2 has experienced low occupancy rate as compared to the remaining 3 quarters. The hotel is expecting to sell 900 occupied room night during quarter 2. Only and only 900 rooms were occupied during that particular quarter 2 of 3 months. This is important. Management is considering strategy to improve profitability, including closing the hotel for the duration of quarter 2 or adopting one possible option as follows. There is scope to extend the hotel by creating enough space to run a rustic chic and Italian style restaurant to serve its guests. The annual revenue, cost, and sale volume for the combined operation are given below. And very, very important to interpret this particular chart. If you don't interpret this particular chart, I think it's not possible for a student to solve the requirement part. Analyze the profit improvement plan. So first of all, beta, you have to find out by reading once again this particular question and try to find out what are the options available to improve the profit plan given by the question itself. And then in that particular option, what are the details we have to consider? And very important in this question, try to interpret this complete diagram. Without this complete interpretation of this particular graph, you will not be able to solve this question. Okay, beta? So I'm giving you a time of 5 minutes to have once again have a reading of this question, find out what are the options available to improve the profit, and try to interpret this graph and make some meaningful interpretation of this particular graph. Beta, a very good question. Try, beta. There is nothing to lose at your end. If you can even provide me 30-40% the correct point as required by this question, definitely you have done wonders through years. Okay, chaliye beta. For पूरे 5 मिनट दे रहा हूं. Give your more than 100% for interpretation of what are the profit available option, and in the remaining time definitely interpret this diagram. What are the detail given? What conclusion we can draw from this particular graph? Okay, चलिए पूरे 5 मिनट है बेटा आपके पास. First, try to find out what are the profit improvement plan available with us that is given by the question. And the second thing is the interpretation of the graph. What meaningful conclusion we can draw from that particular graph. Last 1 or 2 minutes, beta. Now, please shift on the meaningful conclusion that can be drawn from the graph. It's very important. Without the meaningful conclusion from the graph, beta, you cannot solve this question. So try to devote the remaining 2 minutes given to you on the interpretation of the graph. Very good, Karthik, beta. That one of the interpretation of the graph. Very good. Chili beta. So let's start interpreting this question. First of all, we will find out what is the existing profit that is being earned by the restaurant or by the hotel Nico. For that, what we require, we know the room charges. The room charges is 2,700 per room. We know the variable cost. So we get the contribution per room per night. We get the contribution. That contribution will be multiplied by the total annual rooms occupied. So get the total contribution. We are having the fixed cost, that is 9 million. So when we deduct that point, we can easily get the total profit currently earned by the organization. So please listen me down. Contribution per room per night is very easy. Total fixed cost is given. What important calculation is required to get the total profit is number of rooms occupied annually. So we are giving 3 details. In the very first para, it has been given that there are 25 classic rooms. Okay, but all the rooms are not occupied throughout the year. We can take on an average 75% occupancy rate. So 25 rooms multiplied by 75% occupancy rate, This is the average room occupied per day multiplied by 365 days a year. So first of all, we will check out the present profit. What is the present profit that is being earned by the organization? Don't write this point, beta. This has been given in the study material. Just for your better understanding, I am writing this point. Present profit. So first of all, we will find out number of occupied rooms annually. Number of occupied rooms annually. How it will be calculated? It's very simple. 25 rooms multiplied by 75% occupancy, and the hotel is been operative 365 days a year. This will give number of rooms occupied. So please calculate the same, beta. It's 25 into 75%. 25 into 75% into 365. So it's roughly 6844 rooms occupied. 6844 annual occupied rooms. Okay. And we can compare this occupancy, if you require more interpretation, with the total occupancy room. That will be the 75% occupancy. Second point, what is the contribution per room per day? It's very simple. The revenue is 2700, while the variable cost is 900 rupees. So we are earning 1800. So please multiply to get the total contribution. Total contribution is equal to 6844 multiplied by 1800. So please multiply 6844. 6844 multiplied by 1800 rupees. So it is 1 crore 23 lakh 19,200. 1 crore 23 lakh 19,200, and the fixed cost is 9 million. 9 million is 90 lakh rupee. So when we deduct the fixed cost 90 lakh, we can decide that the current profit of the organization is 33 lakh 90,200 is the current profit. Okay, this is very simple. Now, when you read out the requirement part, they have used the word profit improvement plan. So can you tell me what are the plans available in the question? You don't have to derive any new one. What are the plans available in the question that are trying to improve this current profit of 33 lakh 19,200? I'm giving you 1 minute, beta. Please try to communicate me your answer, and I request each and every student who are live now to communicate me the answer, beta. I want to check how properly you have interpreted the question. How many options are available to increase the current profit, and name that option in a short language. Okay, so I'm waiting for your answers, beta. Please communicate to me what are the options available in the question, clearly given in the question, to improve the profit of current level. I'm waiting, beta. I'm giving you 1 minute of time. No, beta, Kanimoji, that's not the correct one. No, beta. Second option is correct, but the first option is not correct, beta. Please reconsider your answer. Other student, beta, please reply fast. Very good, Aniket. Both the options you have given are correct. No, Karthik, beta, that's not the correct option. It's clearly given in the question, beta, no? Okay, I'm giving one more minute. Try to find out that line where you have been given the options to increase the profit, and that options are given in one para only. Very good, beta. Once again, a South Indian student has correctly answered closing the hotel during death and extension. Very good, beta. Very good. Fatima have also rightly answered. Okay, very good. So where are the options given in the question? कहाँ दिए है? So देखिए बेटा, it is clearly given in the question. What are the options available with us to increase the current profit? And the options are given here. This is the option given to you. Management is considering the strategy to improving the profit, either closing the hotel for the duration of quarter टू के ड्यूरेशन में हम अपनी होटल को बंद कर दे, या adopting one possible option, that is to extend the NICO. So there are only two options given in the question. Either you will close down the NICO for duration of quarter two, or you will extend the hotel by creating enough space so that an Italian style restaurant can be open. Can you please tell me, beta, why the first reason is totally invalid even without making any calculation? Although we will prove by calculation, no doubt about that, but even a chartered accountant can prove that even without making calculation, it's a totally useless option to close down the NICO for the duration of quarter two. Only and only from the financial viewpoint, beta. Right now, I do not need any calculation. Just tell me the structure. Even we compute the data, it will provide the same result as we are dealing with the structure of that particular option, that to close down the hotel for the duration of quarter two, because it's a low occupancy rate quarter in which we are able to sell only 900 occupied rooms. So tell me, beta, why this option will be totally useless? Please communicate to me. Option number one is not a viable option at all, even without making any calculation. Although in the examination, we have to prove through calculation that this is not a financial viable option to increase the profit of the organization. Please, beta, I'm waiting for your interpretation. Oh, wow, beta, very good, beta. Very good. Aniket Jain and the South Indian student, Tirupatta Himakachan. I'm not able to pronounce your name, beta. Sorry for that. Whenever I refer South Indian student, beta, please refer yourself, because you are almost making the correct, almost giving the correct answer each and every time. Very good, beta. Keep it up. Fatima. Okay, beta, that's logical, beta, Fatima, but beyond that point, you must consider one more point for that particular quarter. Kani Moji, I'm waiting for your answer. Karthik, Pradeep, Nisha, Priyanka, I'm waiting for your answer, beta. Please communicate. What's your view? Why the very first option will not be a valid option, even financially? Okay, I'm telling you, beta. Please listen very, very carefully. Why I'm saying that the first option is totally invalid without making any calculation. The rule is simple. Although the occupancy rate is low, undoubtedly, but still you are earning contribution on 900 occupied room. 900 occupied room multiplied by contribution per room per night is 1800 rupees. Still you are earning the contribution there. Even if you close down for quarter two, your fixed cost will still be incurred, because you are not closing your hotel permanently. You are closing your hotel temporary. So definitely all the staff and rent and other expenses of fixed cost time period expense will continue to incur. So you will not save the fixed cost during that quarter, but if you close down your hotel during that quarter, definitely you will lose the contribution of 900 occupied room multiplied by 1800 rupee. So it's roughly 15 to 16 lakh rupee you will lose out, because fixed cost will not be avoided during that particular period. Fixed cost will be incurred even on that particular quarter, in which if you decide to close down the hotel for that particular quarter. So the simple answer is fixed cost will continue to be incurred even that quarter, but you will lose contribution on 900 occupied room. Therefore, it's not a viable, sensible option. Second point, beta, please listen very carefully. Non-financially also, you should not consider the option number 1, that is closing down the hotel for the quarter 1. Why I am saying this? Because even in the off season, there are customers who are the business customer. There are customers who are the tourist. Even as we can say in the Goa, although there will be peak season, mid season, but even in off season, people visit there. So if you close down during the off season, the non-reliability tag will be attached to you. That company is profitable or company is operating only for few months in a year. So this company is non-reliable. We cannot rely on the company, because just due to loss in a particular month or quarter, the company is closed down for that temporary period. So non-reliability tag will be attached when you close down your organization for a particular period, just to avoid few bucks. But in this particular case, you are not avoiding any money. In fact, you are losing contribution if you close down this. So the first option is not at all possible. Okay, beta. Now the second option, that open a Italian chain restaurant. Okay. Now I am raising multiple question to you based on this particular graph. First of all, beta, ये पैरा आप दोबारा पढ़िए. I am giving you 30 seconds more to read out, especially this line. Very, very important line. 30 seconds to 1 minute. I am giving to you to read out just the highlighted line. The second option is do not close down the quarter 2. Continue throughout the year and open a Italian style restaurant that will be operational for the complete year. And the important words are all the revenue, all the cost, all the volume are given annually. The word annual is given, and importantly for the combined operation. Can you please tell me, beta, what do you mean by combined operation in this particular point? Combined operation means, okay, the annual word is simple, that the revenue, cost and volume are annualized. What do you mean for the combined operations? I'm waiting for your interpretation, beta. What interpretation can be drawn for the word combined operations? Okay, Karthik, very good, very clearly defined, beta. Very, very good. Very good, Aniket. That words are also applicable. The combined operation means revenue of hotel business, accommodation business, along with the restaurant business. Along with the restaurant business. Can you tell me, beta? It's a leisure hotel. Okay, it's a tourist favorite hotel. So can you tell me, if I am opening restaurant in my hotel that is providing accommodation, where my room occupancy will increase or decrease if I open a restaurant also in my hotel accommodation? Very good, beta. Kani Moji, Fatima, very good. I'm asking you a question. If I open that Italian restaurant, whether my room occupancy will improve or not? Yes or no? Okay, Jyoti, very good, beta. Jyoti Kakkar. Definitely, my room occupancy will improve. Consider yourself as a tourist, beta. Whenever you go for holiday, you will prefer that hotel that is not only providing the best accommodation, along with they are also providing the quality food in their own hotel. Because when you go for holiday, what you want is relaxation. So if the restaurant, if itself there in the restaurant and if providing quality food, definitely people will like it more, and therefore the occupancy will increase naturally. Not only the room charges will be there, but also the people will spend more on restaurant. So the contribution from per customer will definitely increase as compared to the earlier one. ओके तो यहाँ पे अब मैं जो आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहता हूं वो बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बेटा ना, बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई एम गिविंग यू सम क्वेश्चन, यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट आंसर ऑफ ऑल दैट वन, then only we can solve this particular question. Part number 2, that is what amount of profit can be increased by the second option. Okay, so I'm giving all those options. The first option I'm giving you is, tell me BEP units. Tell me the amount of BEP units. Second question I'm asking you, tell me the total sales units. Okay. Third point, tell me combined revenue. All the detail you will find here is combined revenue per room per day. And fourth point I want is variable cost per room per day. For point number third and fourth, I require the combined, because you cannot segregate what revenue has been earned from the restaurant and what revenue has been earned from the accommodation, because that bifurcation is not given. All the detail given in the graph are the combined operation. So tell me, beta, and especially this point is very, very, very important. This point, the most important point I have asked in this particular question. This is very important. If you rightly interpreted this point, then definitely the remaining answer, third and fourth, will be comparatively easy to answer. The most important point is point number second. What are the total sale unit that we expect from the combined operation? And that is clearly given, beta. Just the interpretation is required. Okay. So I'm giving you complete 3 to 4 minutes to provide me the answer, and especially point number 2. Unless and until you properly interpret point number 2, there is no sense in giving answer of question number 3rd and question number 4, because they are totally dependent on the data of second. What are the total sales unit? Okay. No, beta Karthik, please reconsider your answer. BEP answer is correct, but total sale unit answer is not correct. Aniket, yes, beta, very good. You have done an exceptional job, because you have given the correct answer for question number 2. Very good, beta. Keep it up. Other student, beta, I am waiting. वेरी गुड कानी मोजी बेटा, करेक्ट आंसर है आपका भी। सीमा बेटा, प्लीज रिकंसिडर योर आंसर बेटा, दैट्स नॉट द करेक्ट वन। Very good, Karthik. But now you have given the correct answer for question number 2. Very good. Fatima, the first one is correct, beta, but the second one is wrong. Therefore, point number 3rd and 4th will definitely be wrong. Okay, beta. चलिए देखिए. Now I'm starting. Very, very, very important point, beta. Please listen very carefully. What is the break-even point? Can you please tell me in definition the level at which there will be no profit, no loss? In other words, we can say when the total sales and total cost are equal. When the total sales and the total cost are equal, total sale is suppose 1 lakh rupee and the total cost, variable and fixed cost, the total cost is also 1 lakh rupee. That point is known as break-even point, because at that point we are neither having any profit nor having that loss. When you see this diagram, this is the graph of the sales revenue. This is the graph of total cost. And at this point of time, we are having the break-even point 5425. So 5425 unit is the break-even point. And after the break-even point, the margin of safety start. So first of all, the answer of break-even point is 5425. 5425. Okay, beta. Now the total fail unit. Always remember, beta, break even fail plus margin of safety is equal to total fail. Can you please check out, beta, whether margin of safety is extended till the last part here, or it has been stopped some units before. It is clearly given, beta. Please try to interpret the margin of safety stopped unit. When margin of safety stop, it means that if the total final fail of the organization, where margin of safety extended to this level or it has been stopped somewhere before. It has been stopped here. देखिए यहां से margin of safety start हुआ, यहां पे margin of safety आपका end हो रहा है. Clear cut उन्होंने सिर्फ इस part से लेकर from this part to this part they have considered it as margin of safety. So this line is very, very important. This is indicating that 7310 is the total sales of the organization that can expect from the final combined operation. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट था बेटा 7310. क्लियर हुआ ये? So the total sale is 7310. चलिए ठीक है, total sale is 7310. Okay, whether the graph of total sale is given, that at 7310 what is the sale revenue? No, that point is not given to you, that what is the sale revenue at 7310. It's not given. The total sale revenue is given at the end, and it is 30 million, and it is 30 million, but this is not our total sale. The total sale of our is 7310. Okay, but based on this total sale of 30 million, when the total sale of 30 million will be divided by the maximum unit in this graph, will provide you the combined revenue per room per day. Now the biggest question is, how many units are there at the end, and what will be the logic? यहाँ पे एकदम end पे कितनी units आएगी? Because the 7500 data has been given, but after that, at the end of the graph, nothing is given. So we have to interpret how many units are there at the end of the graph. सोचिए बेटा इस बारे में, and it's very logical. इस end में कितनी unit आएगी जरा आप सोचिए, and it's very, very logical बेटा. I am waiting for your interpretation बेटा ना. Last graph, last जो लाइन जा रही है ग्राफ की, वहां पे कितनी यूनिट अपीयर हो रही है इन दिस पॉइंट? यहां पे मैं कितनी यूनिट अज्यूम करूं? बिकॉज द टोटल रेवेन्यू इज गिवन एट दैट पॉइंट, देन वी कैन इजीली फाइंड आउट व्हाट विल बी द रेवेन्यू, कंबाइंड रेवेन्यू पर रूम पर डे. नो बेटा, इट्स नॉट 8000 यूनिट्स. अनिकेत, यस बेटा, यू हैव गिवन द करेक्ट आंसर. कानिमोजी, इट्स नॉट 9000 यूनिट. Try to interpret only the x-axis beta. If you can interpret the x-axis properly, you can provide me the answer. Interpret the x-axis only, you will provide me the answer. Yes, Fatima, it's correct beta. Jyoti, it's not correct beta. 9000 is not the answer, neither 8000 is the answer. So 8000 and 9000 are the wrong answer. Any other student beta? Two students have given me the correct answer. Aniket, Jain and Fatima, they have provided me the correct answer. I'm waiting that I will get some more answer. And even the student who have communicated me 8000 or 9000, please reconsider your answer beta. Might be you will be able to tell me the correct answer. Yes, Karthik beta, that's the correct answer. So can you please communicate what is the correct answer? Just a minute, but I will be communicating. Just I am waiting for students, other students, so that they can also communicate to me what is their view on the total number of rooms available at the last point. चलिए चेक कीजिए बेटा, it's 8250. यहाँ पे 8250 यूनिट्स आएगा. And now the biggest question is, for how you have calculated 8250? That's the most important part. यहां पे 8250 आएगा. अभी कैसे आएगा, ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है. इसके लिए ध्यान दीजिए बेटा. आप पूरे एक्स एक्सिस को देखिए, यहां से स्टार्ट हो रहा है, यहां पे एंड हो रहा है. व्हाट इज द अमाउंट? 1500 इज द अमाउंट. 1500 जो है वो दो बॉक्स में कवर हो रहा है, बॉक्स नंबर 1 and box number 2. So we can say that box number 1 में 750 units होगी, box number 2 में भी 750 units होगी. Again, when you can take any one, 3000 to 4500, it's again the difference of 1500. इसको जब आप box 5 bifurcate करेंगे, in the first box there will be 750, in the other box there will also be 750. So हर box की जो value है, that is equal to 750. फिर जब आप 4500 प्लस 75 कर देंगे तो इट विल बी 5250. तो देखिए 5250 और 6000, ये इन दोनों के बीच में आ रहा है 5425. इसी प्रकार से जब आप 7500 देख रहे हो और यहां पे एक सिंगल बॉक्स है, सो हाउ मेनी यूनिट्स दे हैव एडेड? दे हैव एडेड 750 यूनिट. सो 7500 plus 50 unit, it will be 8250 units. It will be 8250 unit. ये क्लियर हुआ बेटा? पहले प्लीज कम्युनिकेट विथ yes or no, then only I will proceed beta, because it's a very very important part. Okay, now Jyoti, Kanimoji, Seema Sahu, very good beta. Karthik, all have given the correct answer. Okay, so I think each and every student has got this point. 8250. Now 30 million will be divided by 8250. So 30 million, it's 3 crore rupee divided by 8250. Please tell me the amount. Divided by 8250. So it's 3636. Now the revised revenue is 3636. Okay, and now we will find out the variable cost. The total cost is 23.75. Out of this total cost, fixed cost is rupee 12 million. So the variable cost is 11.75 million. 11.75 million. 11 point, yes, it's 23.75 minus 12. Yes, it's 11.75 million divided by the total room 8250. So please divide 11.75 million. It means 1 crore 17,50,000 divided by 8250. So it's 1424. So the combined variable cost is 1424. Now the answer is very simple, beta. The revenue is 3636 per room per night combined revenue. The combined variable cost is 1424. You will get the contribution, combined contribution per room per night. That will be multiplied by the most important part, that the total fail unit is 7310 minus total fixed cost of 12 million. You will get now the revised profit, and you have to check whether the revised profit is more than the current profit or not. So very very good question, because the interpretation of this graph is on another level undoubtedly, है ना बेटा? चलिए एक बार इसका सॉल्यूशन आप चेक कर लीजिए इन द इंस्टीट्यूट मटेरियल. आप चेक कीजिए बेटा सॉल्यूशन नंबर 4. एक बार उसको पूरा रीड आउट कर लीजिए. आई एम गिविंग यू 3 to 4 minutes of time. Read out the solution part of the institute for this question number 4, and if you are having doubt, still any doubt, you can ask me that doubt beta. I am giving you 3 to 4 minutes to have a reading of the solution part of the question number 4. एक बार रीड आउट कर लीजिए प्लीज बेटा. सभी कैलकुलेशन चेक कर लीजिए और मुझे बताइए whether we can proceed with another question. whether we can proceed further, beta. Have you read out the solution given at the end of the chapter? Okay, beta. Chaliye. Now we will move towards the last concept of marginal costing, that is how to proceed, how to make maximum utilization or optimum utilization of key factor resources. So can you tell me, beta, what do you mean by key factor? Any factor whose resources, whose supply is less than what the demand is. Suppose I am having the demand of 20,000 kg of raw material demand. I require 20,000 kg of raw material. If in the market I can easily purchase 20,000 kg of raw material or more than that, then there is no scarcity. कोई key factor नहीं है. But there are some factors in the organization, depends on industry to industry, which are in scarcity. That can be raw material. Suppose the requirement of raw material is 20,000 kg, but the maximum raw material that I am having in the market is suppose 15,000 kg. So now I have to decide I require 20,000 kg of raw material to make my sale to the fullest extent. But due to non-availability of raw material, I have to produce the product within 15,000 kg. So now a very important decision is to be taken. This 15,000 kg of raw material, which is the key factor, how this 15,000 kg can be allocated to different product in the organization with the objective of maximizing the profit. Okay, labor can be key factor. We require more labor, but even after considering the overtime or outsourcing or any other alternate, we cannot fulfill the total requirement of labor. Labor requirement is suppose 10,000 labor hours, while including the overtime, including the second shift, we can make only 9,000 labor hours. So now again the same question. Now out of 9,000 hours, which product will receive how many labor hours out of those 9,000 so that we can maximize our profit? So material can be the key factor, labor can be the key factor, even machine hours can be the key factor, that we are having short of machine hour. Even in the initial stages of any organization, capital is the key factor. If you go in remote area of India, might be their electricity is the key factor, because we require continuous electricity for 8 hours, but due to the load shedding in that particular area, we are having only 6 hours of electricity supply. So any factor can be a key factor. The litmus test is the demand of any factor which is more than its availability. Availability we can call that as supply. Okay. Now I am drafting a very simple situation. You have to tell me how you allocate your hour so that you can score the maximum marks in the organization. Okay. So I'm drafting a very simple and interesting question for you so that I can check what criteria you will adopt to allocate your key factor hours. Okay. Suppose you are appearing for second group. Okay. The available time for revision with you is available time is suppose 20 hours. Okay. While the demand is of 25 hours. If you are having 25 hours for revision, you can say yourself that yes, I have revised the syllabus completely, so I feel very confident while attempting the paper. But the issue is you require 25 hours of revision time, but you are short of time. You are having only 20 hours of available time. Now, what's your target is? Okay, I cannot increase the available time. They are restricted, they are 20 hours. So I want to utilize those 20 hours very effectively. So which chapters I should read in that particular 20 hours so that I can cover the maximum portion of my syllabus through revision. So I'm giving you some detail, beta. So this is chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, chapter number 4, and chapter number 5. There are 5 chapters, suppose, in that particular subject. Maximum marks is 20, 15, 30, 5, and suppose 10. Hours required. 10 hours you require here. Suppose 2 hours is required here. 1 hour is required here. 10 hours is required here. Suppose it's 0.5. 0.5 hour is required. And here 2.5 hour is required. Okay. Now tell me, beta, 10 plus 2, 12, 22. Yes. The total required hours is 25. If you are having 25 hours with you, you can revise the complete syllabus. But what's the issue? You are having only 20 hours. So tell me, beta, out of this 20 hours, how you allocate this 20 hours, which chapter you want to read in that 20 hour so that you can cover the maximum portion of your syllabus. I am writing that point, beta. Allocate 20 hours so that we can revise maximum syllabus. Mark 5 maximum syllabus. So I'm waiting for you, beta. I'm giving you a time of 3 to 4 minutes. It's a very realistic example. Every student will face this criteria whenever he or she will face the examination. That demand for the time is more while the availability is less. So within that crunch situation of time, you have to manage our resources. Okay. So what will be the best chapter so that we can score more and more, we can revise more and more in the available time of 20 hours. Okay. So I'm waiting for your answer, beta. Please communicate which chapters and which order you will want to revise so that you can cover maximum syllabus in the available time of 20 hours. Karthik, it's just an example, beta. Don't correlate it with real examination. Okay. It's just an example to make you better understand about the goods. Okay, some students are saying that chapter number 1 and 3. Some students are saying chapter number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Karthik has answered 3, 2, and 1. There should be a logic behind that, hai na, beta? Chapter number 2 to 5 first, and then chapter number 1. Okay, chapter number 4 to, through 3. And whatever answer you are giving, beta, please give me the marks which you are covering in those 20 hours. That will make my explanation more easy for you. Please, whatever answer you have given, beta, please give me the marks that you can revise in those 20 hours, so that we can check whether we have utilized those 20 hours in the most effective manner or not. Along with the chapters you want to study in those 20 hours, also provide me the marks coverage. Out of that, how many marks coverage you are doing in that 20 hours availability time. Okay, please listen very carefully what should be the criteria. If you're decided based on the maximum marks that chapter 3 is having 30 marks allocation, then this should be my first choice. And since chapter number 4 is having the least, if chapter number 4 is having the least mark, therefore I will not read this chapter in the priority. This will be a totally wrong way of allocating your key factor resources. The best way to allocate your key factor resources is contribution per key factor. If contribution per key factor, in this particular question, it will be marks per hour. How many marks you can score by revising in every hour? So if I study chapter number 1, I can score 20 marks, but to score that 20 marks, how many hours are required? 10 hours are required. So I am earning 2 marks every hour by reading chapter number 1. Correct hai? By reading chapter number 2, I am earning 7.5 marks per hour. Okay. By reading chapter number 3, I am earning 3 marks per hour. By reading chapter number 4, I am earning 10 marks per hour, because it will cover 5 marks and only take 0.5 hour for revision. And the last, it will be 4. So definitely my criteria will be contribution per key factor. In this particular case, it is marks per hour. So the first priority will be chapter number 4. ये मेरी first priority होगी बेटा. Chapter number 4 will be my first priority, because the very first hour of 20 hour will be allocated to chapter number 24, and that will provide me 10 marks per hour. Okay. The second priority will be chapter number 2. The third priority will be chapter number 5. The fourth priority will be chapter number 3. And the last priority will be chapter number 1. So now, allocation. The first priority will definitely get the maximum hours they require. So the maximum hours is 0.5. So out of 20 hours, I am left with 19.5 hours. The second priority will be C2. The second priority will be C2. How many hours it requires? It requires 2 hours. So after allocating chapter number 2 and chapter number 4, I have left with 17.5 hours. Now I will allocate 2.5 hours to chapter number 5. So 17.5 minus 2.5, it is 15 hours I am left with. So the fourth priority will get the maximum 5 hours, and it will be the balancing figure, 5 hours balancing figure. So now let's check it out, beta. How many marks I can revise in those availability of 20 hours? 2 hours. 2 hours into 5 hours I allocated. So in this I can score 10 marks. Here I can score 15. 30, 5 and 10. Make a total बेटा. कितना आ रहा है? 25, 55, 60, 70. 70 मार्क्स का मैं यहां पे रिवाइज कर सकता हूं. इससे बेस्ट कॉम्बिनेशन आप चेक करिए बेटा. नथिंग इज अवेलेबल because we have used the technique of key factor, that whenever there is a key factor, the allocation will be based on contribution per key factor. The product which is providing us the highest contribution per key factor will be preferred first and they will be allocated maximum. And if after allocating the first priority product, if we are left with some resources, then second priority product will get, and so on. So any doubt beta in this calculation? No, Vipin Sharma beta, that will not be allowed in examination. That will not be allowed in examination. You have to do the most logical way followed by the whole cost accountant community, that is the contribution per key factor. Okay beta, clear a concept? Now let's take a break of 15 minutes and then we will proceed towards writing the key concept of key factor, and thereafter we will start some questions on that one. And during the break, I request you to download the case study digest, because in the last session of our last half of today's session, we are covering some questions from case study digest also related to chapter number 5. So you must download that case study digest if you are not having the hard copy beta, because after the break we will write down some concept of key factor and then we will proceed towards the case study digest to solve more question on this particular chapter, chapter number 5, decision making. So let's take a break. It's 19:34 in my clock. We will meet at 19:50. Okay, so break will be till 19:50. चलिए बेटा, so welcome back. So let's write some concept on key factor and then we will proceed towards the case study digest. Hope you are all downloaded beta that case study digest. We are solving 2 or 3 questions related to chapter number 5 from that case study digest. So first of all, write down about the key factor. Write down the very first point, meaning. Write down the very first point, meaning. Whenever the demand of any resource, whenever the demand of any resource is more than its availability, whenever the demand of any resource is more than its availability, comma, that is key factor situation. That is key factor situation. Write down point number 2. Decision to be taken. Write down point number 2. Decision to be taken. इसमें लिखिए बेटा प्रोडक्ट मिक्स. क्या डिसीजन लेना होता है आपको? प्रोडक्ट मिक्स. डैश करके लिखिए दैट इज ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ की फैक्टर रिसोर्सेस. ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ की फैक्टर रिसोर्सेस. डैश करके लिखिए हाउ टू अलोकेट the available key factor resources, how to allocate the available key factor resources among the different products, how to allocate the available key factor resources among the different products, comma, so that we can maximize the profit of the organization. So that we can maximize the profit of the organization. Now write down point number 3. Write down point number 3. Decision basis. What is the basis for our decision? Decision basis. The allocation of key factor resources. The allocation of key factor resources should be based on the allocation of key factor resources should be based on priority of production. Should be based on priority of production. And priority of production should be decided. And priority of production should be decided on the basis of write down an inverted comma, and if you are having the red pen beta, use that red pen, and on the basis of write down an inverted comma, contribution per key factor. Contribution per key factor. It should be based on contribution per key factor. Okay, beta. Now we will solve some questions from study material, case study digest. So each and every student is requested to open that case study digest either in hard copy or soft copy, beta ना. चलिए देखिए कुछ एक क्वेश्चंस है in the part number 3 regarding the concept of chapter number 5. I think those are related with key factor also and along with the relevant costing technique. So please open it up, page number 180, page number 180, and it's question number 19. It's page number 180 and it's question number 19. ओके बेटा, चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। अब देखिए क्वेश्चन नंबर 19. प्रेस्टीज largest laundry service provider for foods. Okay, the firm has set a price of 510 rupees for cleaning the food fat. The firm derived this price as follows. 510 rupees जो इन्होंने सेल प्राइस कोट किया है अपने चार्जेस के लिए. How this has been derived? Cleaning material consists of rupee 35, that is the raw material. 3 hours of labor are required at the rate rupee 50 per hour. 50 rupees is related with labor. Variable overhead is rupee 70. Fixed overhead is been recovered based on labor hour and the recovery rate is 15 rupees per hour for rupee 45 plus markup of 70% on total cost. Thus the total will be 510. The firm is known for its quality work and timely delivery. Hence, customers are willing to pay this premium price. Yes, because this is the premium price because we are charging 70% profit on our total cost. This is a huge profit earned by the organization just because of the quality work and the timely delivery. Firm employees receive a fixed salary. The hourly rate rupee 50 for arriving, dividing the total salary by the total number of hours available. This line is very important. जो firm के employees है, they will receive a fixed salary. They will not be paid according to the hour. Just this 50 rupee has been derived by the total salary divided by total labor hour available. Even if there are some idle hour, we have to pay that. So the labor is not paid according to per hour basis. They are the permanent employees of the organization. Variable overhead depends on the number of foods cleaned, where a fixed overhead rate is derived by dividing the total cost of all related expense by the number of labor hours available. Fixed cost generally consists of office rent and admin salary. For the first para, what it say? The name of the firm is Pristine Maker. They are in the laundry business. Okay, the firm has a selling price of cleaning services of rupee 510. How this 510 has been derived? It consists of raw material of rupee 35. 3 hours of labor they are charging at the rate 50 per hour. But the important point is labor are not paid according to hour. Labor receive a fixed salary. Just for the purpose of computation, they have derived this way of charging the labor on per hour basis, but their actual outflow will be in the form of fixed salary. Variable overhead is rupee 70 and it is clearly given. It depends on upon the number of foods cleaned. And fixed overhead is based on labor hour, total fixed overhead divided by total labor hour. So it derives the total recovery rate per labor hour and they add 70% markup. Okay, so fixed overhead components are generally office rent and admin salary. A local hotel approached us as the regular cleaner of these foods are on strike about the possibility of cleaning 130 foods in coming week and they need the work done on a rush basis. A new customer in the form of a local hotel have approached us. Since their regular cleaner are not available due to the strike, they want us to clean 130 fruits in coming week, and this is in rush order. They will not wait for long. Firm have sufficient quantity of required cleaning material in stock for special order. जो भी material लगेगा, they are already available in stock. It perceives that it could complete 60% of the special order during normal working hour. 130 का 60%. Compute the minimum price that should be quoted for the special order, considering the relevancy. Okay. Please try this question on your own, beta. Requirement part number 1. What will be the raw material relevant cost? What will be the relevant labor cost, variable overhead and fixed overhead? And every element should be checked from those two conditions. Cost must be the future cost, and future cost must change according to the decision in hand. And the decision in hand is cleaning 130 foods. Okay. So it's a comparatively simple question. It's a confidence booster, beta. I'm quite confident that all of the students will provide me the correct answer regarding the first requirement part. I'm waiting for your answers. You complete with the requirement part first, then please communicate me your final answer. What should be the minimum price that can be quoted for this special customer or local hotel? Okay, Jyoti, according to Jyoti, it's a relevant cost minimum price should be 195. Okay. One more minute, beta, then we will discuss this question combinedly. देखिए बेटा, what should be the answer? First of all, this raw material is in regular use of the organization, no doubt about that, because they have received the same order of cleaning the foods and they are their regular business. So neither the replacement cost is given. This is the book value of material rupee 35. In case the replacement cost is given, then definitely we should consider the replacement cost, that is the current purchase price. But in this question, that point is silent. So we are taking rupee 35 multiply by 130 foods. Okay. We are assuming that the book value of rupee 35, if itself the current market value, there is no change. Otherwise, in case the current replacement price is given, then definitely we will prefer the current replacement price instead of the book value. Now, what about the labor? Please understand this very carefully, beta. 130 multiply by 3 hours, it's 390 hours. Okay. Out of this 390 hour, the 60% hours cost are irrelevant. Just think over it, beta. 130 foods multiply by 3 hours, the total required hours are 390. Out of this 390 hour, 60% are irrelevant. Why irrelevant? Because the 60% hours are idle employees and they are receiving a fixed salary irrespective of productive time or unproductive time. The only change that will happen is this 390 multiplied by 60% time will get converted from idle time to productive time. But from the financial perspective, there is no change in the payment that will be made to the worker before acceptance and after acceptance of this special order regarding this 60%. Okay. But the remaining 40% is definitely relevant. Okay. So the answer will be 390 hours, the total requirement, multiply by 40% overtime working. And please, beta, very, very important. What does this mean? Time and half. It means 1.5 times the normal rate. Time and half. Time and half. जो time का payment करते हैं वो करना है plus half the payment. So please listen very carefully, beta. If there is no such special order of local hotel of 130 foot, definitely we will not make worker to work overtime, because even in the normal hour, we are having some idle hours. But to accept this special order, definitely we have to work overtime. And if we are working overtime, not only we have to pay for that overtime 50 per hour, but along with that, I have to pay the overtime premium, and that is 50%. So यहाँ पर बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, मुझे उन्हें 50 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1.5 75 रुपी के रेट से मुझे एक नया पेमेंट देना पड़ेगा only and only to adjust this 130 foods. Clear है? चलिए. Now regarding the variable overhead, they are given that they are dependent on number of foods cleaned. More the number of foods you are cleaning, the more will be the variable overhead, and the variable overhead is rupee 70. So it's 70 rupee into 130 foods, and the fixed overhead is irrelevant. The same point we will continue here, unless and otherwise the fixed overhead is given in totality. Okay, and that totality is changing due to acceptance of this special order from a local hotel, then only fixed overhead will be a relevant cost. Okay, any doubt beta in the first calculation? Any doubt in the first calculation? No? Okay. चलिए देखिए, इसका second requirement part भी अच्छा है बेटा. The special order decision deals with excess supply or excess demand. Analyze. Okay. So whether you can expect that the organization will refuse the special order repeatedly? No, beta. They are giving us the order since their regular cleaners are on strike. There are very rare chances that this customer will be converted into regular customer. So the special order decision deals only with the excess supply. They are not dealing with the excess demand. The excess demand is temporarily. We are not expecting that the same customer will come to us for repeated purchase. They are coming to us only because there are regular cleaners who are on strike. Third point, whether such special orders should be accepted on rush basis. For short-term perspective, to earn some extra profit, you may accept such order even they are on rush basis. But you are known for your quality work and timely delivery. Since your worker has now to work overtime, they are not habitual to work on overtime, might be the quality might be impacted. So you have to analyze whether worker can work overtime without affecting the quality of the work. Because if quality of the work will be affected, although in the short run you might earn some extra profit, but definitely that will create negative impact on your goodwill if you are not able to provide the quality work. Even in case of rush order, beta, jab bhi rush order aata hai, we can even charge premium, because it's if at the customer request we are working overtime. So in that situation, customer is ready to pay us the premium price also. So regarding the short-term consequences, that is, we can generate some extra profit, but the long-term consequences, whether we can accommodate such work of 130 cleaning foods on a rush basis without affecting the quality and the timely delivery, that will be our major criteria, because we are known to provide the quality work and timely delivery to the organization. Okay, चलिए. So एक simple question था, but it's a good question, beta, na? Especially the requirement part number 2 and requirement part 3 are good question. Now follow one more question on this. These all questions are related with chapter number 7, performance, measurement and evaluation. A very, very important chapter is coming beta next week. Okay, very important chapter. In other words, I would say the most important technical chapter of your syllabus is chapter number 7, performance, measurement and evaluation. In the schedule given by the ICI, we have been allotted 6 lectures related to that chapter. From that alone, you can imagine the importance of that particular chapter. Chapter number 6, performance. These all are the questions related with that particular chapter. Chapter number 6, performance. Chapter number 7, performance, measurement and evaluation. So for the next week, beta, be ready for that technical chapter. Definitely, we will go very slow in that chapter as compared to the speed of other chapter, because that chapter requires multiple repetition from my side. Okay, now next question. I think this is the question of chapter number 5. Yes, this is the question, beta. Please open page number 203. It's question number 24. It's question number 24, given on page number 203. Okay, beta. So let's start from the requirement part. We are having 3 alternatives. Alternative 1, alternative 2, and alternative 3. So we have to decide which alternative is best from the organizational viewpoint. Okay. So let's start with alternate 1. It's a very simple alternate, and then we will proceed towards the some lengthy, not typical, lengthy. I have already told you the trick about to handle the lengthy question. Just break into part and try to complete each part, a single part at a time. When you complete that part, then proceed towards the other labor part, then variable part. It will make that lengthy question a achievable question for you. Okay, but if you see the such particular question at a glance, definitely the confidence will be lost by the student in the examination. But when you literally break into the part and try to solve only one part at a time, definitely within 20, 25, 30 minutes, you will be able to solve this lengthy question very, very comfortably. Okay, chali. So let's start question number 24, given in page number 203. An apparel manufacturing company has raw material inventory of polyester fabric bale that was initially procured to be used in manufacture of shirt. Later, keeping in mind the current fashion trend, the design department suggested manufacture of cotton shirt instead. Therefore, the bales मतलब जो गांठ होती है ना बेटा कपड़ों की वो, the bales of polyester fabric are now not required. Now, please understand, we are apparel manufacturing company. We are ready-made garment company. We are having stock of polyester fabric that will be used in the manufacture of polyester shirt. That will be used in the manufacture of polyester shirts. But the recent fashion trend is, instead of polyester shirt, the customer has now shifted to cotton shirts. Therefore, whatever stock of polyester fabric we are having, they are now not required. Please understand, beta. Earlier, the finished goods is polyester shirt. For polyester shirt, we require the polyester fabric as a raw material. But now the trend has been changed. Now customer require cotton shirts, and for that we require the cotton raw material. Therefore, the earlier product which was now outdated in the market, but still we are having the raw material polyester fabric related to that outdated product. It was procured at rupee 1 lakh few months back. Can you tell me, beta, the relevancy of this 1 lakh rupee in all the three alternatives? The relevancy of this 1 lakh rupee in all the three alternatives. It's very easy, beta. I'm expecting correct answer from each and everyone in this particular point. It has appeared multiple times in our discussion in the last three sessions, including the current session. What will be the relevancy of this 1 lakh rupee? Whether it's for relevant one or irrelevant one. Very good, beta. It's for past cost, therefore it will be irrelevant. It's for book value, not relevant. Of the alternatives. Okay. The scrap value if sold in the external market would be rupee 45,000. The scrap value if sold in the external market would be 45,000. This is alternate number 1, that is sold out the inventory of polyester fabric in the market, thereby fetching a revenue of 45,000. So this will be the inflow in option number 1. This will be the inflow in alternate number 1. If we choose alternate number 1, we are having an inflow of rupee 45,000. But there are total 3 alternatives in this particular question. Let's read out alternate number 2. Alternate number 1 is very simple. There will be an inflow by the sale of existing polyester fabric in the market. Okay. Now alternate number 2. What is alternate number 2? The material can be used to make polyester jacket, while the material we have purchased is used to manufacture of shirt. Now the second alternate we are having, do not sell such raw material in the market. Instead, use such polyester fabric to make the polyester jacket. This would require the following additional work and material. This is very important. Additional work and material. Material A is required 500 bales of material. Material B is required 1000 unit. 3 category of labor are required: unskilled, semi-skilled, and highly skilled. Extra selling and delivery expenses are required, and extra advertisement of 25,000 rupees required to make use that polyester fabric into polyester jacket in alternate number 2. Okay. This conversion can produce 1000 unit of polyester jacket that can be sold at rupee 400 each. If we opt for this option, then we are having an inflow of rupee 400 on 1000 units of polyester jacket. Now regarding material A is already in stock and widely used within the firm. Although present stock will be sufficient to meet normal production requirement. Extra material used to facilitate alternative will need to be purchased immediately. Okay. This will avoid any loss due to stock of material A for the product under regular production. फिर रॉ मटेरियल बी के बारे में हमें दिया है बेटा, फिर रॉ मटेरियल ए की एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट, रियलाइजेबल वैल्यू और रिप्लेसमेंट कॉस्ट। सो यहां से आप मुझे बताइए इस पैरा से, and this information of material A and material B, forget about the labor cost right now, forget about this two other cost, just focus on the revenue. ये सेल प्राइस जो दिया है, whether it's for relevant or irrelevant, what will be the relevant cost for material A and what will be the relevant cost for material B. I'm giving you complete 4 to 5 minutes of time to provide me answer on this 3 point. लेंदी क्वेश्चन बेटा इसी टाइप से आपको सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा, ब्रेक देम इनटू पार्ट एंड सॉल्व पार्ट बाय पार्ट, है ना। पहले अपन इसके बारे में डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं, देन वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट द लेबर कॉस्ट, एक्स्ट्रा सेलिंग एंड डिलीवरी एंड एक्स्ट्रा एडवर्टाइजमेंट, है ना। सो आई एम गिविंग यू 4 to 5 मिनट्स ऑफ टाइम। ये तीनों पॉइंट का मुझे आप रेलेवेंसी बताइए। व्हाट अबाउट द रेवेन्यू ऑफ 400 ऑन 1000 यूनिट, व्हाट अबाउट द रेलेवेंसी ऑफ मटेरियल ए, व्हाट इज द रेलेवेंसी ऑफ मटेरियल बी। ओके, चलिए बेटा। Jyoti beta, I require the amount. Okay, whether sale revenue will be relevant and what will be the relevant sale revenue, what will be the relevant cost of raw material A and raw material B. Regarding raw material B beta, it's very important to interpret the point very carefully, because if you misinterpret that point now, then you will not be able to give me the correct answer regarding raw material B. ज्योति, अनिकेत, रश्मि, विपिन शर्मा, Kanimoji, Seema, what's your answer, beta? Please communicate fast. Karthik, Priyanka. What is the relevancy of revenue? What is the relevancy of material A and material B? Student, please reply fast, beta, about the relevancy. It's very easy. Apart from raw material B, sale revenue can be decided very easily. Relevancy of material is very simple. The only interpretation part is in raw material B. I'm waiting just for 1 more minute, then we will start, beta. Okay, Vipin, you have answered on per unit basis. Okay, it's 75 for A and 375 for B. Okay, beta. What about the view of other student on the relevancy? Please communicate me fast. Okay, beta. Chili, dekhiye now. So it will be a relevant revenue undoubtedly, because if we opt for alternate number 2, then only 1000 units can be produced and they will be sold at a price of rupees 400 each. So this will be the relevant revenue undoubtedly. Regarding raw material A, it is a regular use because this is to be replaced immediately because it will be used under regular production. And in case of regular use raw material, the historical cost is irrelevant because it's a past cost. We will not fail regular use raw material in the market. In fact, whatever quantities we require of raw material A will have to be purchased immediately since it's a regular use raw material. So regarding raw material A, it will be 500 into 90. This will be the relevant cost for raw material A. Very simple. Now the most important part is raw material B. Raw material B. Can you tell me whether raw material is regular use or irregular use? It's definitely a regular use material, and importantly, very important, since replacement cost is not given in the question. It means raw material B is no more available in the market. It has been used in manufacturing of another product, high-end fashion clothing, and is also required in this alternate number 2, but such material is not available in the market. There is no replacement cost is given. It means there is shortage of raw material B in the market, which indicate that raw material B is the key factor, and in case of key factor, we will take decision on the basis of contribution per unit of raw material, and that will consist of contribution loss also. Please write down this point beta somewhere else in the study material or in a copy. Interpretation of material B. Interpretation for material B. Very important point of this question. Interpretation of material B. since material B is already being used, since material B is already being used in some other product manufactured by the company, since material B is already being in use in some other product manufactured by the company, comma, therefore, it's a regular use raw material. Therefore, it's a regular use raw material. Next line. Since the replacement cost of material B is not given in the question, since the replacement cost of material B is not given in the question, comma, the interpretation will be raw material B is key factor. Raw material B is key factor. And if you are having red pen, beta, please continue writing through red pen this point, very important point. And in case raw material is key factor, the relevant cost would be quantity required in special order, multiply by contribution excluding raw material cost per kg या per unit, जो भी उसका denomination हो. So in this particular case, beta, you are earning a contribution of 750 per unit from utilizing 5 units of material B. It means the contribution per kg is 150 rupee. Contribution per kg is 150 rupee. Multiply by how many units are required? 1000 units are required in this special order. So the total relevant cost will be 1000 multiplied by 150. 1000 multiplied by 150. So the contribution you are earning is 750, and this contribution has not included the cost of material B, rightly, because ultimately you have to recover the contribution including the material cost from this special order. Okay, so the answer will be 1000 units are required and the contribution loss is rupee 150. ठीक है बेटा? Any doubt in this point? Any doubt in this point, beta? How you calculated 375, beta? How you calculated 375? Many students have calculated it's 375. No, beta. The contribution is 750 excluding, and it requires 5 units of raw material B. Therefore, the contribution per unit, including the cost of raw material, is 150 rupee. Okay. So the answer will be 150 multiplied by total requirement of 1000 units. Okay. Now, chalo. These are the relevant cost because the word extra, additional work has been given. Therefore, this should be considered as a relevant one, undoubtedly. These are the relevant costs because they are the extra cost that will be incurred if we opt for option number 2, that is alternate number 2, converting the polyester fabric into the polyester jacket. Okay. Now, regarding the direct labor, we require 3 category of labor: skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled. And the common information is given in the last, where the information of labor, yes, here the information of labor is given with you, that whether the unskilled hour, skilled hour and the highly skilled hour, whether they are in our availability or not. So what is the rate? Unskilled labor rate is ₹5 per hour, semi-skilled rate is ₹10 per hour, and skilled rate is ₹15 per hour. Okay. And how many hours we require in alternate number 2? It's 3,000 unskilled, 2,000 semi-skilled, and 1,000 highly skilled. So these are the rate per hour given to you, but the important detail are given in this para, whether we are having the idle hour of unskilled, semi-skilled or highly skilled, and in case one of the category is a key factor, that is the hours required are less than the availability, then we have already calculated that will be the contribution per labor hour plus labor cost will be the relevant labor cost in case the labor is key factor. I think we have done this question in the last session also and we have written that point also. तो चलिए बेटा मैं आपको समय देता हूं, आप मुझे बताइए अनस्किल्ड की अपने को 3,000 लेबर आवर चाहिए, इसके 2,000, इसके 1,000, whether the cost of unskilled, semi-skilled and skilled are relevant, and if relevant, what is the amount of relevancy, है ना? इस पैरा के आधार पे पूरा आपका आंसर डिपेंडेंट है. Okay, so I'm giving you another 3 to 4 minute time to try on your own about the relevancy of labor cost. ₹150 कैसा है बेटा? इट्स वेरी सिंपल. You are earning a contribution of ₹750 by producing this high-end clothing. Just a minute बेटा, एक बार ये डाउट है, let clear this doubt. You are earning 750 of contribution from high-end fashion clothing. Okay, while this product is totally different. This is the polyester jacket. You are also manufacturing high-end fashion clothing and you are earning a contribution of 750 including the cost, because this is excluding the cost of material B. Okay, material cost has not been deducted from here. So 750, and to earn 750 you require 5 units of material B. For 750 rupee you are earning contribution per unit of such clothing, while such clothing require 5 units of material B. For every unit of material B you are earning 150 rupee of contribution. Clear है? चलिए बेटा, now forget about that point and now try to focus on the relevancy of labor. Vipin Sharma, beta, no, 375 is not the relevant one. If you deduct the material cost, 375 definitely is the contribution, but that is from fashion and unique. And to earn a contribution of 375, how many units of material B is required? 5 units. So you have to calculate contribution per unit of material B. Just we have written that concept also, beta. Whenever in key factor, the decision is to be taken on contribution per key factor. So contribute 375 contribution per unit of that finished goods. While finished goods is not the key factor. Key factor is raw material B. So to earn rupee 375, even you are deducting the raw material cost, then it will be divided by 5 units of material B to get the contribution per unit of material B. ओके विपिन, सो देखिए बेटा ये बहुत सिंपल है. They say that unskilled labor can be procured on contract basis to meet the exact production requirement. It means we are not having any idle labor hours regarding the unskilled category. For whatever volume we require regarding that unskilled, we have to hire temporarily from the market and we'll have to pay rupee 5. So 15,000 rupee is my relevant cost regarding unskilled labor in category alternate number 2. Regarding the semi-skilled labor, they have clearly said they have an excess supply of this type of category at the present. It means you are having sufficient number of idle and semi-skilled labor. So you are already paying them, and if this alternate number 2 is chosen, then those idle hour of semi-skilled will get converted into productive with no additional outflow of labor cost. Already you are paying for them for idle time. Now you will be paying the same labor for the same time in respect of production, but no new additional labor cost has been incurred because idle time will be converted into productive time. So therefore the relevancy will be nil. And in case of skilled worker, they are key factor. They are key factor. If we opt for alternate number 2, such worker has to discontinue production of an existing product, which will result in loss of contribution. And what is the amount of contribution they are earning? It's 36 rupee per unit, and it will be earned in 4 hours. So for every hour, just imagine beta, how much money the skilled worker is making. They are not making rupee 36 per hour. To earn rupee 36, they have to work for 4 hours. So for every hour, they are earning rupee 9 per hour of their effort. So in case of labor is key factor, we have already written the formula. The labor cost of rupee 15 plus importantly, the contribution loss. The contribution loss will be rupee 9 per hour. 36 rupee is per unit of this new product upholstery. While to earn rupee 36, labor has to work for 4 hours. So the contribution loss per hour is rupee 9. So 15 plus 9, 24, 24 into 1000. So the answer will be final 24,000 rupee if the relevant labor cost of skill. This is the repetition point beta. In the last session also we have covered what will be the relevancy of labor in case of key factor. And I have also noted down the important formula of that point when you turn on the pages. Okay, beta. So let's find the session today. For homework to you, beta, you must complete alternate number 3. Take it at assignment. And if there is any problem in alternate number 3, we will discuss in the next session. Okay, in the starting minute. And in the next session, beta, we are about to start chapter number 6, pricing decision. Okay, theoretical bhi hai and practical bhi hai. A mix of theoretical and practical topics in that particular chapter number 6. And once again, beta, I am requesting you to attain each and every session of chapter number 7 that we will be starting next week. The most important technical chapter available in your syllabus, chapter number 7, performance measurement and evaluation. Till now, I have not requested you to devote some time after the lecture, but I will definitely request you whenever that chapter starts, chapter number 7, to devote minimum 20 to 30 minutes after the session is completed, so that in the class duration of 6 lecture, you will be able to gain enough confidence in that technical chapter, chapter number 7. It's an achievable chapter undoubtedly, but requires some extra effort. While the remaining topic, if you listen carefully in the lecture, definitely you will understand that topic. But the problem with chapter number 7, it requires some extra effort from the student once the session is over, beta. And I'm quite confident, beta, that each and every student will devote extra 20 to 30 minutes once the chapter number 7 will start after the session is over. Okay, beta? So thank you. God bless you all. Good night.